Hello everybody. It's June the 13th, about 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to rob some honey today. We're going to pull some supers off of these two hives. Thought y'all might be interested in kind of how we do that. Not necessarily the proper way to do things, but it's how we do things. So to get started, we're going to use fume boards. That's these tops right here that just have felt on the inside. And we're using something called Be Quick. There's several different brands of this stuff. Some of it smells really bad. This stuff don't smell that bad, but the bees hate it. So you take the tops off, you put this stuff on the covers, you replace the covers with this, and it pushes the bees down into the hive and gets the bees out of the super so you can get the honey out of them without bees flying everywhere. So anyway, we're going to get started. We're going to start with our tallest hive. This thing is what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 supers high. You can see there's a lot of bees in the top. So this one's packed full of bees. But we'll pop this screened inner cover off and put the fume board on and go from there. So you can see we got our fume board on. They say to cock it a little bit when you first put it on because some of the bees will fly out the top. Like you can see these girls coming out. I don't know if you can hear that roar, but they obviously don't like the smell of it too good. So we'll leave this on for a few minutes and we'll see how it does. Okay, let's see how it's doing. Not too many bees left. Looks like it's working pretty good. I'll pull this super off and then get the next one. Hello. Now we got a few supers off the hives. A lot of it wasn't capped yet, so we'll have to go back and get some more later. But we got I don't know, probably 120 pounds of honey here. We'll see. But anyway, first thing we got to do is get the cappings off. So if you look at this, you can see that's a pretty good batch of honey. So you have to cut the tops off so to let the honey out in the extractor. Then what your knife don't get, you can just use something and scratch the tops off. You don't want to tear it up too bad because the bees will reuse this stuff. You don't want to cause them more trouble than you have to. Now you can see in this tub, you can go here. This will be the cappings, and the honey runs out of it, and we'll collect that. But then we can melt this wax down and do all kinds of stuff with that. And yes, there are a few bees flying around. Now this is our extractor. It'll hold 8 frames. You can see how you put them in here. You put your 8 in here, then it spins, and as it spins, the honey comes out. at that. That's a pretty frame of honey.
Wow, that is pretty.
See, my knife don't hit much of that, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of scratching. And next year, since they've drawn the comb out, I'll put fewer frames in the box. That way, they'll draw it out a lot thicker, and I can do this a lot easier. But this year, I didn't have any drawn combs, so they had to draw the comb out before they could even put honey in it, so that's a lot of extra work. Okay, now we got some frames decapped and we got them in the extractor. So we do 4 frames at a time. It just slings the honey out around the outside. And it came with a hand crank, but I figured out you could put a drill on there and use a power tool. So anytime you can use a power tool, I'm all for it. So it might jiggle if it's not balanced exactly right, but we'll figure that out here in just a minute. You'll know pretty quick. Here we go. Just a little out of balance. Okay, so that slings it all out of one side. So then you have to flip them around the other way. And yes, everything becomes sticky after you work with honey. Okay. So here we go. Okay. And then you come over here and open up your honey valve. And we put it through a double strainer.
Wow, look at that.
That's a lot of trips to a flower and back.
Go.
Hello. So we're through extracting this I think it was 23 frames that we extracted today. So here's the little tub with the cappings in it. So it's draining down into the bottom. We might end up with about a gallon of honey there. And then here's what we got today. That's about a 5-gallon bucket. And then probably another gallon, gallon and a half, something like that. So we'll probably get 7-8 gallons off of our 23 frames. So that's not too bad. The rest of it wasn't capped, so we'll have to go back and do this again. But the girls are still working. I'm not sure what they're bringing in, but they're still working. Anyway, that's how you process honey. Like I said, that was a lot of trips to the flower and back. So here's one more little thing that we do. This is a refractometer that I can measure the moisture content of the honey with. You want it less than 20. If you got a higher moisture content than that, it's likely to ferment, which is a bad thing. Even for y'all that like to drink a lot of fermented honey, you don't want that. Anyway, so you just take a little sample, put it on the little glass, then you smash the little window down. And that's reading a little bit less than 18. Let me see if I can. You can't really see it real good. You can see that little blue line. If you could read it, you'd see that it said 18 right there where the blue line is. Anyway, the girls did a good job. Got the moisture down and it's good honey. So y'all stay tuned. Thank you.